It's time to stand up and fight. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Hand in hand, we'll take a caravan to the motherland. Yeah. One by one, we're gonna stay with the pride. More than can be denied. Stand up, stand up, stand up. From the highest mountain.
I'm here with a fabulous vocalist and songwriter, Mr. K. Rob. Mr. K. Rob, tell viewers about yourself, just your humble beginnings and how you became the man that you are today.
Well, that's a great question. So the man I am today, I mean, I have to give credit to, all the village, if you will, my parents, my mom and dad, and my aunts, uncles, my brothers and sister and my relatives, whatever. We lived on the same street, me and my mother's sister and their family. So we all lived on the same street. But anyway, we are really close and played in the same sports leagues, et cetera, et cetera. So as far as who I am, that deserves all of the credit or acknowledgement. Other than that, of course, just from Cincinnati, Ohio, grew up in a musical family. On my street, there could be people playing, the house over there. They got, in the garage, they got a jam session in the garage, and go down the street. It's another group of people or kids playing, having another jam session at their house. So, I just grew up playing a lot of instruments. Obviously, the Isley Brothers, being related to them, has been a huge influence on me musically as well.
Okay. So you were groomed by the Isleys and you toured with them as well, amongst other pioneers. So what are some of the takeaways from just growing up with them and working with them? Like, what did you learn? You don't have to tell us all the golden nuggets, but the top three.
Hey, some of that stuff I can't tell you. No, I'm just joking. Well, I mean, it's just really taking pride in what you do. You know what I mean? You want to take the time with the record. Each record, you want to take your time with it and make sure it's just top quality. It just has something that'll stand the test of time, or just even, the time that we're in. It'll resonate. It's something that different generations can relate to. But also I learned from them. It's important to learn how to play an instrument. I mentioned, me and my family. My oldest brother played the lead rhythm guitar. Me and my brother right above me, we played drums and percussion, which I still do to this day. But to learn how to play an instrument, it contributes to your writing ability, to your ear, to your to being able to compose a record. I write my own songs, or I write a lot of them, and it just contributes to all of that. So just taught me about how to really just about craftsmanship, if you will, or musicianship, however you want to put it, composing a record, and just having class about what you do. You know what I mean?
Doing a doggone thing.
Yeah.
So now we know the Isleys are your cousins, but you've toured with Brian McKnight, Jill Scott, the Ohio Players, Anthony Hamilton, among like many. Without making people feel bad, who's your favorite performer?
Oh man, that's a great question. Oh wow. See, my favorite performers, I would have to say, maybe some of the old legends, the Michael Jacksons and the Princes of the world, even like the Earth, Wind and Fires. I've been to a lot of Isley Brothers shows. They give a good show. The Stevie Wonders, even modern day Beyonce is a great performer. Usher is a great performer. He's doing his thing in Vegas. I would say that I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't know if I answered your question accurately there, but I'll say this is that, obviously, I've been around the Isley Brothers a lot, but I did a show. I did a lot of the Bay Fest. Mobile, Alabama used to have these big, huge festivals every year, and they were called the Bay Fest. So I did that like 3 times. One of the times, I got through performing, and then I was, in the backstage area, and then I saw Jill Scott.
Mm.
Okay. Jill Scott was back there taking pictures. And I walked back there and I said, I'm a grown man. That's the important point before I make my final point. So as this grown man, she made me feel like a little boy. I
Oh,
came back there. I said, she said, "You want to take a picture?" I said, "Yeah." So, and it's like when she put her arm around me, and then she put her finger in my cheek.
what?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it was like she said I had dimples. And it's like the way she just made me blush at what it was. She made me
Oh,
blush. And I was like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? So I would have to say, from those festivals, Jill Scott. And then also I got a chance to really talk to rest in peace, Sugarfoot from the Ohio Players.
oh,
They played a festival too. I got a chance to meet him and talk to him, which I really appreciated.
that's what's up. You had a girl
Mhm.
crush. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so like you
Yeah.
said, you play instruments, like you have this whole talent, like it's not untapped, but you're multifaceted. So with that said, you tap into many elements when creating music. So what is your process when making the song?
Yeah, really good questions. Well, a song I would say the origin or the pathology, I've been a pharmaceutical rep, so the pathology of a record is it can start with like you and I are talking. Let's say, Kevin, you know what? I've just had a hard day, and you know, I just think the world was turned upside down for me today.
Hmm.
I said, you just gave me an idea. Okay, so I take that turned upside down and I write a record. I don't have a melody. I don't have and there's no music. There's no nothing. And then sometimes there can be, I mean, this may sound peculiar, but it could be a bird chirping, or it could be me driving down the street and there's another song playing. Okay. So I hear something from that song that strikes me. And then I take just one small little piece of a melody from that record and write a totally different record. Then maybe you're a producer. You send me music. You send me the music already. Okay. You say, K-Rob, write to this record, man. See what you're feeling from this music. So I can write, the song from the music that you send me. And then my current single, Slow and Sexy, I wrote. Used to have an old Fender Rhodes electric piano. I
Hmm.
sat down and wrote that song just from a different chord structure that just came in my head. I'm not a piano player, but I can, find the chord and that's what I did, and that's how that song was born.
Okay, you got down with the get down. So,
Hmm.
so with your song Tonight, did you write that song and what inspired the R&B pop track?
Um, I was sitting at the kitchen table with my family. I
Oh,
wasn't even thinking about writing no record. I really wasn't. And that's just one of those times I was sitting eating something. I said, hold on a minute. So I just, put my little scratch piece of paper out and really just started. I had the melody and everything in my head. You know what I mean? Rolling on the solo tip, and it just came to my head. I just wrote the whole thing off. And then at that time, that's when I was living in Cincinnati. And then there were some guys. I used to be in a group called Quiet as Kept. So one of the main guys in the group that I used to, create the music and stuff with, a guy named Daryl Gibson.
hmm.
He and I that was the origin of the song. And then, I took it, kind of went to another level, working with another producer called Angelo Ray, who's out of the Atlanta area. So that's kind of how that song was born.
Now you do a lot of covers as well, or resemblance or similarities to older songs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a song that's out now, Caravan. What inspired that track, and why would you remake it in the times now?
Well, I was not even thinking about remaking that record. Although I like the record, my relatives wrote the record, obviously. But
Hmm.
I was sitting at home. I got a telephone call from two guys. One of the guys I grew up with in Cincinnati, a guy named Eric Myrie, give him a shout out, and another brother named Monye Crawford, who has a production company called Love Child Productions in Atlanta. They called me with the idea. They said, "Hey, COVID and a lot of people are struggling now. Need some uplift. This is good record to do that. And plus, obviously some of your relatives, and there's the connection there. I said, oh, well, I didn't even thought about it. He said, man, I already got the music. He sent me the music. And I said, man, this is nice. So I went down to Atlanta, and it took us we did it one time. It really didn't take us long at all. We knocked the song out really quickly, and that was that. So the idea really, they get the credit, for that idea. And but it wound up being a really, really great rendition, I guess, from my perspective. Anyway, I felt good about it.
No, it's a beautiful song. And speaking of music, your talents, you have amazing talents. I mean, you've toured with the best to ever do it, and you've made your own music. You've made songs off of older classics as well, timeless music. So, and I have to ask, with someone who has a love or an infinity for old school R&B,
Mm-hmm.
what about the new school R&B? A lot of people don't like new age music, but I feel like you can appreciate it because you're an artist. What inspires you about new school R&B? And do you feel like you'll make some of that music at some point?
I think my current single, "Slow and Sexy," I think it incorporates a lot of or some of the, I guess, musical nuances of today. But I think that I will. But at the end of the day, I'm a student music wise of the '70s mainly. I've got to put what I call the melody inspirations, that move me. I got to put those in the songs, but sonically, whatever. Yeah, I think you're gonna hear some of today's new R&B nuances. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
right.
But hopefully, when you hear it from me, it'll feel different. Which is one of my objectives.
No, you did that, and you released that song for Valentine's, correct?
I did, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ballad. I checked you out. You have a beautiful voice. That's
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So you're coined as gospel soul artist. Tell us the reasons why, and what's your favorite gospel song to perform?
Favorite gospel record, I'm gonna have to say a song that I last sang, called "I've Been Redeemed." That's probably one of my favorite ones. But I'm gonna diverge just a little bit. This is my personal philosophy. When you say, or when somebody says gospel, you often think of Yolanda Adams or John P. Key, or just I guess the Mary, etc. But to me, you know what the gospel was to me a lot? The gospel to me was, "Isn't She Lovely?" It was Love's Holiday. It was Miles Davis. It was, what I'm saying is like stuff that spiritually moved me and moves a whole bunch of people. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's technically that's sang in the church. But I know the question you're asking me. So I'm going to say probably "I've Been Redeemed" is probably one of my favorite. And the last song I performed in my church when I was still living in Cincinnati.
No, I mean, what you're saying is music is medicine for the soul.
Correct. Absolutely.
So when you answer that question, is from that perspective, what feeds you in that moment.
Correct.
So, I got it. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a trick question. It's not really a trick, but I'm just testing. I'm just testing you. This is during the 90s. Picture yourself in the 90s. You're going through a breakup and you got this love songs on repeat, like repeat. You know how we used to do. Who would you listen to nonstop? Jodeci, Silk, Drew Hill, or LSG?
Okay, you said Jodeci, Silk.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did you? Who else did you say?
Hill or LSG?
You know what? Incidentally, I'm gonna have to probably go with Jodeci because I'm in the, when I'm in the gym, uh, you know, well, that's probably one of the last things out of the artists you just named.
Hmm.
It was that Show After Party Hotel. It was that record. You know what I mean?
I can't even.
You remember that one, Show After Party the Hotel?
What songs were on that record?
Fiendin',
Oh,
Time and Place, Pump It Back, all of that.
that was
Yeah.
their best record, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute.
exactly.
Diary of a Madman was pretty hot too, though.
Diary of Mad Band, correct? Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, but I listened to both of those. Diary of Mad Band, Show After Party Hotel. But then also I'll probably say, did you say Genuine in there? You
Well, if
didn't
you
say
don't
him, did
say Genuine, you can say
you? I mean, it's just like a coincidence, like some of the, out of the artists you named,
uh-huh.
that's like the music that I have listened to most recently out of like some of the 90s stuff. You know what I mean?
I can dig,
Yeah. So,
dig.
mhm,
Listen, I listen to all the 90s stuff. I put my
yeah.
little Pandora on and go to town. So what more can we expect from you? Are you working on any other projects?
Absolutely. Well, just you mentioned about like today's music, whatever. One of the things, and I guess it's just my approach, perhaps other artists, is that back in the day, maybe an artist would make a record, and you hear from them 2, 3 years later. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Except Prince, that is. But I'm working on another song. But to your question, I'm trying to keep something fresh coming out at least maybe every other 6 months or something. You know what I mean? At least maybe shorter. And so I've got a nice hot up tempo coming out. I think people are gonna really, really dig it. And it's gonna be hot. So yeah.
Looking forward to it. So let me ask you this question. When with the touring, with you getting into music, and I don't think we got into how you actually got your foot in the door. So can you talk about that and the lessons you learned on your way in?
Well, it's always ongoing, to be honest with you. Um, it's just if you to use an analogy, you knock on somebody's door and you just keep having to knock on the door. You may have to go, but you go back home, but you got to go back and you got to keep knocking on the door.
Mm.
The knocking on the door though is multi-layered. It's and this is just my approach to it per your question. I went to school. I got a 4-year degree. I got an electrical engineering degree. I have a family. So I took care of my family. I worked. I've been an electrical engineer. I got a bachelor. I've got a master's in education. I've been a teacher. I have been in pharmaceutical sales for a number of years. So I continue to realize two things. Number one, my life's not going to stop.
Mm,
Okay.
right.
I got to feed my family and I'm going to, whatever for myself too. But also I understand that the music business, and like everybody says, there's two components. There's the music and there's the business. To put it simply, the business means money. Okay. It takes money to do this, at least independently.
Mm,
So I knew that a long time ago. So I wanted to make sure I had some of my own capital so I could do what I wanted to do or what I needed to do. But also, there's other components. You got to take care of yourself. Okay. I don't care if you're 16 coming into this game or it doesn't matter what age you are. It takes stamina to do this, so part of your mental and spiritual stamina is the physical component. And obviously, there's a component of the business where, you want to look your best when you're
right.
doing the thing. So, I've worked out consistently my whole life, which was just something I do in general. But also, being a musician, I'm in the gym at least 4 days a week. I'm in the gym.
Right.
So, it's the I just kept going in terms of my life. I went to the T at Tennessee State University in Nashville, HBCU. Got my degree, worked, took care of my family, kept trying to take care of myself to the best of my ability, kept writing. I was in a group in Cincinnati. We did the biggest festival there. It's called the Macy's now. It used to be called the Cool Jazz Festival. Um, but just so I hope to summarize what I just said. It's multi-layered. Don't quit your day job. I tell folk, don't quit your day job. You don't have to. If you're an
Facts.
independent artist, you're going to need some wherewithal financially. Okay. After that, you just keep knocking on those doors, and sooner or later, you'll start getting the right people around you to give you advice and consultation. Take care of your body, hit the gym, try to eat right, keep writing, literally, keep singing as much as possible, whatever you do. And, and it'll come together for you.
Just stay consistent if you want longevity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I like what you said about the capital and being able to fund it, because a lot of people come in wanting to make music, but it is the business aspect that hinders them from moving forward, because
Absolutely.
you have TikTok, which is a beautiful means for a new artist to place their music. But at the end of the day, you want more than one record, and you need to be able to finance and make it beautiful.
Absolutely.
So, now, he says, that must be your crutch word. Okay. So do you have any clothing, apparel? What else do you have going on?
Well, I don't have clothes. It's so interesting you asked me that. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna keep it a secret for a while, but I do. It's not something that I've actively, but I have the name of it and everything. But I'm trying to wait till, I kind of make my way, as an artist, and if you will, I guess for my namesake, whatever, more people know about me, whatever, then I'll go ahead and move forward with it. But I have the name. I'll just say it's mainly probably men's dress wear is what it is. But I think men around the world are gonna dig it. They're gonna love it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, I can dig it. The distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you want to let that ink dry. I can dig it on that. Don't run your mouth too much, okay? So, with that being said, tell people or viewers where they can follow you and download your music.
Yes, thank you so much. You guys can follow me on Instagram. I'm at KRob Music. That's at KROB Music. I'm all in the cyberspace, if you will. I'm on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, etc. You can find me. Of course, my latest record is Slow and Sexy. So go find that joint, download it. And I know you're gonna dig it. I will say, if you're asking who the rapper is on that, that's my middle son. Okay, that's my middle son rapping on that record. So even look out for some stuff from him in the near future. But yeah, you can find me all over. YouTube as well. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody following me and checking out my music. I hope you like it.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the time of your life? It's time to stand up and fight. It's all right. It's all